Once again, it's yours truly, Ricovibes. We're in Don Juan famous studio in New York City, Brooklyn. And it's the Ricovibes video podcast. My special guest today, Mr. Easy.
Keeping it breezy.
What's up, man? I got to ask the first question is, what recollection you have of Don Juan Studios?
Well, the recollection I'm having are just good memories.
Good memories?
Good memories.
You remember the first dub your voice here?
So the first dub I voice was Joyride.
Really?
Joyride is the first dub I done here.
Who was the engineer?
Who was the engineer at the time? My boy, TC. TC was... TC. You know, somebody started TC.
Really?
Somebody we just started TC.
I mean, this is a famous studio, man. It's
Rico, that's why you see when you call me and you tell me, say, they're on a Don Juan. It's like, me just get ask Jimmy how we react.
Yeah.
React on a vibe like, yo, then when you gonna come and say, yes, so me I come.
I can't come to New York and not see. I haven't been to New York in years.
Bridget, you couldn't tell me you couldn't tell me that you was at a better place than Don Juan
Studios.
This Don Juan is the place for Mr. Easy. This is my town. This is Brooklyn. This is Flatbush. Erasmus, Flatbush Avenue, Church Avenue.
Yes.
You understand me? Even the other day I was watching the thing with the people kept marching and all them thing there. And when I looked at helicopter in the sky, when I look famous Don Juan night again. You can't go around the Don Juan the logo. The Don Juan logo is it stands out. Stands out.
So you're originally from Brooklyn?
Originally, I'm a Brooklyn artist. Mr. Easy is a Brooklyn artist. I was born in Mountain View. I'm from Trelawney.
Okay.
But Brooklyn, East Flatbush, they built more ballroom down the road. Starlight Ballroom in that direction. Trust me.
Take us back to the beginning. I know you were signed to a major label before you were signed to a Jamaican label. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I was signed to a major label. I was one of those artists that was signed at the time when they were signing reggae acts.
Gotcha.
They were on a campaign of signing reggae acts. That's when they signed the Shabba. Red Fox got signed to Lecture. I got signed to Quest because I'd actually won the Apollo Theatre.
Okay.
I performed at the Apollo Theatre for years, and then I went to Showtime because people don't understand that you have amateur night differently from Showtime. So you actually work your way up the ladder from amateur night, and then you get to Showtime. So I actually performed at the Apollo Theatre for like a year and a half and kept winning and winning until I got to the next level. And I mean, it was a scary thing going to the Apollo, going up against all these R&B singers, but I didn't realize that the thing about myself was that I was different from everybody else.
Right.
Yeah, so
do you remember some of the songs you sang to win any of the competition?
You know what it is, and I teach you one thing. If you win with one song, you stick to that one song.
Yeah.
So it was a song called Just Be My Lady and Sidney Mills.
Larry Graham, was it?
Yeah, but I actually changed it up in my own way, and I just used the same punchline but changed the words.
Gotcha.
And I went to a friend of mine who was a major person in the music business, has put in a lot in the music business. His name is Sidney Mills from the Living Room stable. He actually works with Steel Pulse. Okay. And he made On the Wings of Love rhythm. He make it over for me. And that was it.
And then you were signed to QS, which is
Quincy Jones, Warner Brothers. Yeah.
Wow.
I tell people that, I remember the day when I was an exterminator at the time at the Woodhull Hospital, because my mother was a nurse in that hospital, so she got me a job in there. And I remember I actually went to work the Friday, and I performed at the Apollo the Saturday, and by the Monday I had to quit the job. Because when I did the job, the whole hospital started running me down, and my mother said, you can't stay no more. Because they saw me and tell them like, we don't see on TV. So it's like, it's from the Friday to the Saturday was such a big difference. Like people that you walk past every day in the hospitals. In the hospital, I saw you. They saw you the Monday, and it was a totally different reaction because they see me on the Apollo. Because at the time, the whole Apollo stage show was very popular.
Everybody used to
watch at the time.
Everybody used to watch. Wow. So talk about the transition from then to hooking up with Dave Kelly and that transition.
Well, you see, after like about 2 years with Warner Brothers, Warner Brothers never really understood. They meant well. Right. Quincy meant well. Quincy's one. I love Quincy because Quincy is a person never look at an artist because of their complexion or because he's a brother like himself, so like myself. So he understood just unlike some of the record execs, they look at images and say, well, you know, you have to fit a certain image or whatever. Quincy was like, oh, this brother, let's push him forward. But just like I signed to the label through a production, which I never understood the business at the time. So I put out 2 albums with Warner Brothers, which is still is on the shelf, so which is real good for me to know that I have that catalog that's there. Yeah, one of the album was the name of the album was Call Me Mr. Easy.
Okay.
But at the time, I'd given Dave Kelly to produce 2 tracks on the album, so we became friends from that. But me and Dave Kelly was friends because Donovan Steele and Daddy's Crew used to do combination songs together, but Donovan Steele never had a visa to travel. So he asked me to go on the road with Daddy's Crew and sing the Donovan Steele parts.
Got it.
So by me doing that now, we developed a relationship. So Dave said, you know, I owe you a favor just for going on that tour. I went on the tour with Louis Culture and Daddy's Crew and Terra Fabulous at the time. That was the first Madhouse crew.
Got it.
Before me and Wayne and Sham them. That was the first run of Madhouse. So it wasn't actually Dave Kelly who took me back to Jamaica. It was Beres Hammond who took me to Jamaica.
Really?
Yeah. It was Beres Hammond who saw me in Randall's Island and said to me that you're a good singer. I want you to come back to Jamaica.
Wow.
And he sent me back to Jamaica to work with his nephew. The first 2 weeks, he had the tracks ready for me down there, but he was on tour. So he sent me to work with his nephew, who is a lot of people know him by the name of Yogi.
Yes.
At the time, Yogi wasn't really singing. He was more doing the production, helping his uncle, because Beres is his mother's brother. Yeah, so at that time we started working at, Beres never had a studio at the time, but Buju had a studio with a youth named Silbert. The name of the studio was run by Akiwak, what's the name of the Cell Block. Yeah, so that was the studio that Beres used to record out of at the time.
And so what was your first #1, I would say, or big dancehall track?
The first big dancehall track was definitely, I did a track for Salam Remy first that started creating a buzz. It's a tune that I did over the barge. I was in a sound clash. The girls don't look ready. It was on a rhythm called the same rhythm with Cabra and Cabra and Braxton. Tony Braxton had that. Yeah. So that song started creating a buzz. Started getting some dub plate work, you know, started building up the catalog. So that's when I went to Jamaica and did a joyride. I moved back to Jamaica, you know, because to me, for you to make it in a certain, in that genre of music, it's best to go to the base.
Correct.
So to me, for me to really make it in this music, I had to dance all. I had to go back to Jamaica and plant my foot and then build my name.
So how long weren't you in Jamaica at that point? Because you were living in the US at that point.
Yeah, I was living in the US, but I went to Jamaica and I started staying from about, when Beres sent me down, I started staying from 95, 96. But I'd spend most of the time there and come up for like a month. But I'd spend most of the time for a couple of years. For like about 4 years.
Okay. And those 4 years was beer hits.
Beer hits. We just kept working. Right. Give thanks to Dave Kelly.
Wow.
But I tell people it was really rough because I used to have like even $5 or $1,000 in my pocket, and when I leave, I used to walk from studio to studio. Even now when I look back at it, I'm like, yo, you did something amazing. Because I used to walk in Kingston. I left the house with like $1,000 or $500, and I make sure that I kept the money in my pocket. I walked from Mixing Lab to Madhouse, round to our next to Penthouse. We just all over the place, just to try to get on a tune. Right. You get me? So people think you're down there, you're going with the most thing, but they don't realize there's steps, and you have to go through the struggle at the same time. Because remember, you and I know how much artists there are in Jamaica. Yes. Every other youth is an artist in Jamaica, so everybody's knocking at the gate, knocking at the door. So you now have to stand out extraordinary to actually get that break. When Dave Kelly, I was around Dave Kelly when he was putting out the rhythm called Haunted Rhythm. Yes. With Richie Stephen, Pata Cook, everything as him, Bounty Killer, the Kentucky tune, and it's so fun that Dave is a youth because he has actually had bad experience with other artists that came by and then he put them out and them not show him no respect, not show him no love. So Dave is a youth and him test and see how long you can hold out. I was actually around Dave for a year before Dave actually advised me. And when I tell Dave I'm going to leave, Dave was like, not to them I advise you, that's how I advise on a joyride. Wow. Yeah man, when that rhythm come out, the Haunted Rhythm, it was me and Dave who actually drove the dynamics. I used to help him lift up the boxes, and I wasn't on the rhythm. Like, and you know, vinyl is very heavy.
Very heavy, yeah.
So, and you know, Dave Kelly records them sell. So we used to go and pack up records. We used to have a Privia. That's why we DJ. Remember, if you know some of the songs, we sing about the Privia van. The Privia van is, we used to see the Privia van, man, it like the back height bend down to the ground, man.
With records.
With records, man.
Wow.
But Dave always say, any vehicle that he has, if it can't carry and record them, he don't want it. People always say, well, you know, you buy a Benz. Well, you know, but he said, no, that can't carry my song. That can't carry my song them.
What do you think the most important lesson that Dave Kelly taught you?
Well, Dave teach me patience, and he teach me. One of the things that Dave taught me, because I was more R&B singer before, Dave actually taught me how to actually sing back the dialect.
Gotcha.
Because remember, I grew up I'm in New York from when I was 11 years old. So now you grew up through junior high school, so now you have the little Yankee now, you and them little thing there.
Right.
So you can't help that because you're your friends.
Right.
So going back to Jamaica now, actually had to learn how to actually pick back the dialect, sing the words in patois. Man I say ya who, people say ya you, big things are going, them not have no clue. Say them in a fashion, but the fashion they bow. Tell them to move from bow, yeah. So before I did, I would be like, they say is who, when they say, you know what I'm saying?
Real proper.
So Dave teach me all them things there, and he had patience to actually work with Mr. Easy. And I also have to give thanks to Wayne Wonder, because Wayne Wonder, they already had a singer at Madhouse. And you know how people are. Wayne Wonder could have said, there's a singer at Madhouse already. I don't need Mr. Easy. Right. But Wayne is such a good-hearted person. Wayne actually welcomed Mr. Easy as a next singer in the group. Right. And said, come in, youth. Welcome. Right. And that's how we came about with Mr. Easy, Wayne Wonder, Frisco Kid, and Baby Sham.
Wow. Broke out with him.
You know, let me tell you something. I was watching Versa yesterday with DMX,
right.
And the first thing come to mind, you have a thing called Fully Loaded.
Right.
And the way how Fully Loaded bus, Fully Loaded was, Sean Burke I think is one of the luckiest persons, because Breakout Rhythm was getting the drop.
Yes.
They were shooting a movie called Belly in Jamaica, where had DMX in Jamaica, and DMX was the biggest rapper that just bust big,
right.
Blow up. So Dave usually take his rhythms and give to Stone Love first, and this jockey called Colin Hines. So they decided, listen, we're not going to give Stone Love this rhythm. We're going to give it to Tony Mataran. So I don't remember if it was Sprague that called Tony and said, come around the studio, we have something to give you, want you to do something, and plan it out. And if you remember that rhythm, when you hear the rhythm, it said, broke out, Tony Mataran.
Yes.
Broke out, yes. Tony Mataran.
Yes. Because they had sampled his name into it.
Sampled his name, and that's the rhythm that bust Tony Mataran. He will say different, but I know. He will say him bust broke out, but broke out bust him.
He will say different.
He'll say different, but I remember when they gave it to him.
Right.
Because when they played the broke out rhythm at the Fully Loaded, Billy Slaughter run over to me with the anger. I said, what kind of thing that? What kind of thing? You get me? He was so angry because he know that they usually get the rhythm.
First, right.
And I never forget when Tony Mataran played the rhythm, he played the rhythm by itself for about 20 minutes and the beach a turn over.
Oh.
People want to run, can you remember the rhythm of a come on?
Yes.
Broke out, no.
Heavy.
And then him go drop the Bounty Killer. Brother, the rhythm
So he did the opposite, he didn't drop the singer first.
No, he dropped the rhythm first. But through the Bounty was so big, he had was to drop the Bounty to get a big
forward.
Can't believe we can't believe the whole places and them time the Bounty they're on a streak.
Right.
Are the man, and he still is the man, but I mean them time
right.
A Bounty that I'm prime, that at the time when Bounty have the whole place. Can just have the auntie tune, him have the tune him a Barrington Levy.
Right, Living Dangerously.
He had all these songs in his catalogue.
Gotcha.
So now if we come with after showtime now, if we come with Breakout. It was crazy.
Man.
The rhythm played for at least an hour, because now after them play the Bounty, they have to play Cabra.
Right.
After the Cabra, then you go Wayne Wonder, you go Baby Sham, you go Frisco Kid, you go Mr. Easy. So it's like, can you imagine this rhythm just a forward and a forward and a forward and a forward upon the beach? And then DMX will run up on the stage. Where my dogs at? The whole beat turn up on the Sharon Burton mill. But I saw fully load the bus.
Right. Wow. Wow. Do you miss those times?
Of course, man.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, dancehall, I tell people all the time, I wish they would find a name for the music that's coming out of Jamaica now. Because them keep calling it dancehall and it's not dancehall. Not because you have someone DJing the patois dialect over the rhythm, that don't make it dancehall. Because if you separate both of them, and you take the vocals off of the rhythm and you hear the rhythm play it by itself, it's not dancehall. So I don't know what the name, because it's not hip hop, I don't know what it is.
Afrobeat.
And it's not
It's not Afrobeat.
If it was Afrobeat, it wouldn't have been that bad. It wouldn't
Right.
be bad and too bad.
Right.
But it don't have, it need a name.
Wow.
And even right now, in the Spanish market, you know, I was watching, what's the name, the interview the other day, Ramesh. And I couldn't be, I have to take off my hat to him, because Ramesh said, yo, you might talk to my from ER. And he said, Ari, what name? Ari, right?
Ari.
Yeah, Anthony Miller. And he said, Anthony, to be honest with you, you know, I have to tell you that the songs that we are doing in Jamaica, it really just create a hype in Jamaica. But I know on the wider scale, when you go out there, dancehall is the real sound. The real dancehall sound is what the people gravitate to around the world. The Spanish market, everywhere. Because you notice if the Spanish, reggaeton never changes its sounds.
True.
They stay winning with that one sound.
True.
We are the only one who change our sound. You can't enhance the sound, you know, by putting other things on it, you know. But you have to know if it, but them youth, you know, and I kind of blame some of the producers them who left Jamaica and not teach the youth them how to produce. So the youth, the mother them buy them some of the laptop and computer, so them start teach themselves, and this is what they came up with.
Yeah.
You understand me? Because a lot of producers before them like we hide from the youth them.
I call music a beat.
Yeah, it is a beat. It is a beat. But it has no melody, it has no sound, it is more dark.
Right. Right.
It's very, all of it is dark, and they're on one topic. And a lot of the artists them, they're so metaphoric that they don't realize that you can just, simplicity is what makes music bust. Melodies. Because if you look, not disrespecting a lot of the artists dancehall before, a lot of the dancehall artists them before, they're not the greatest of readers, but they have the melodies.
We were just talking about that.
And that's what,
and
even like if you look at even the artists them now, even the hip hop artists them now, if you check it, if they're gonna go back to sample a song or try to do over something, they're gonna go for those songs. And those guys were, you said, well, you would have said them guys that weren't the best readers, but these guys,
But they were in the street.
they're in the street.
Yes.
They live it. And now the producers in Jamaica now, the music is not in the garrisons anymore. It's in a very comfortable place. Yes. We're not so comfortable. You have a man live uptown and his mother can buy him this and him live up. So you don't, it's a lifestyle. They don't know the lifestyle. And those guys are more exposed to hip hop when they were kids. Yeah. They've been traveling to Miami, to New York. Steely and them man, they never used to do them things. When they come to, when you go down a Jammy's back in the days and they pack up on a Jammy's studio, the Mikey Bennett's, the Bobby Digital, they might try to get them way out. So it was coming from the heart, the soul, the feel, everything. Yeah. Yeah. So you don't have that anymore.
Can we ever get back to that though?
Of course you can get that. Yeah, man. It's there.
Because a lot of people don't think you can
it's
get
there.
back. You know,
it's there. It's
that's why the 90s will always be the best era of dancehall.
It's there, but they are not highlighting it.
Right.
Because they are not highlighting it because the people that are actually pushing the music, it now becomes more like a money thing than anything else. You understand me? It's more like a money thing than anything else. Sure. More like a hustle. You understand me?
Wow. Take away yourself.
Take away yourself, you know, is a real story. You know, my virgin Skirty is really him write the song. Big up Skirty. Me and him write together. We've been writing for like from 1990, and we still, a lot of the songs we do even right now, me and him write them together.
Gotcha.
You have to say that's my best friend. Take Away Yourself is a song that he had a friend that, you know, he's wanted in Jamaica. He ran away to America, got caught in America, did time. Deported back to Jamaica, was still on the wanted list. So anytime he's up on a corner, him always, if him see a police car, him say, boy, I'm going to take away myself, you know. Boy, everything, boy, I'm take away, him always a screech away, I'm going to take away himself. Okay. And after he gave me, we got that, we realized it's a song, I'm going to give it. Every minute this man has to take away himself, take away. I said, it's a song that, you know. And that's how the song come about. And the youth never even live to see the song.
Really?
Come to life. The police them kill him in him sleep. Kill him and him nephew and him sleeping at the one room.
How did the dance come about though?
You know, what's this youth name man? Him always power with Ding Dong. One of the baddest dancers, I rate him. Damn, I won't forget the youth name, man. No, man, younger youth, man. I mean, usually, I don't know, all of a sudden, I see him more. Damn. I can take
Take website.
You know, so what?
Dan one is off camera.
People are done one of you. Are the great Dan one of you in the background here? We don't know, say, people think different. We don't know, say,
if you met Dan one, you would know what it is.
Even if you meet Dan one, I don't know Dan. I don't know this man. There's no other like Dan one. When I heard that I was coming around into the interview, you know, my face just instant smile. You know what I said? Yeah. So this youth, you know, him come up with the dance. And from the minute, I think I saw him at the airport and he said, we have a dance with the thing, you know. And
so you didn't have a dance when you made the song?
No, the song was already out doing well.
Oh, okay.
I actually was going to Antigua when I saw them at the airport and he said, we have a dance with the song, you know.
Wow. Because the dance is what made the song.
And that's why
kind of like, you know.
Yeah, and then your boy, you know, him calypso out my thing.
Who's that?
Follow the rhythm and take for yourself. Joke. And you know, so I call him and I say, my youth, your name is Ray, I mean name is
Right.
Oh yeah, so he said to me, say, boy, me never know say a bad mind. And that him said to me, me up on camera, because you know I'm not really afraid of people. And that him said. You never know say a bad mind. That the man said to me over one things, you know.
Wow.
I'm just on the phone, I'm say everything good.
She drives me crazy.
She drives me crazy because most of the songs them that I've actually done, and that's where they have the successes because of being real. She drives me crazy from a actual situation that I was going through, and I think Tony Kelly was going through the same thing as well. But you know what's so funny about drive me crazy?
Yeah.
Actually, dip and go up to Tony Kelly. I was walking out at Dave Kelly gate one day. And when I walk out, I see Tony Kelly and Sashi Ratio come down in a van and then pull up and them say, yo, I have a thing up a yard for you, come check me now. Because I know what Dave knows and I come see.
Right.
He said, come up a yard, I have something for you. And when he said it, he just drove down to the end of the road and turned around and jet. You get what I'm saying to you? So I said to him, I said, boom, press the sign, let me turn that off. Sorry my people, you don't know. Sorry my people, sorry my
No,
people.
we edit that one, don't worry.
Yeah. So at the same time, he said, come up at the yard and I have something for you. And when I went up to Tony yard and I hear the rhythm, it was like, it's like, you hear it, it's a hit rhythm without even a word on the rhythm. The groove, it just one of the rhythm from your ear to just know, say, no. This I got hit. Cause if you let go the rhythm without no song on it, I got hit. You know, like this, the rhythm right now where you hear, where it's more time them say, I'm sure you when people carry cough and some man a dance. Right. You see how the rhythm just have that energy there? Yeah. That's how Buyout was. And me and him started writing. And we just started writing. Yeah. We started writing. And while we were writing, I was thinking about what I was going through at the time. With a female with the same kind of child thing and them thing then, and the lyrics just flow.
Right. Wow.
The lyrics just flow and we just write it. And actually, Tony Kelly I went to the studio booth to record and he made me do the background vocals first. And I'm not gonna exaggerate, we're going to the studio 5 o'clock the evening, I'll never forget. We tell him never. And I came out the studio booth twice and we were in there doing those background vocals till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Just background vocals?
Just background vocals. All the vocals, the lead vocals was done 3 times differently.
Wow.
So after I did the background vocals and we say, yes, we got the background vocals right.
That's not the norm, right? You don't normally do background vocals.
No. Okay. But there was something special about the record. So we said we're going to make sure the background vocals is placed properly.
Gotcha.
And Tony Kelly have a little thing where he can touch it and see if you have the right note and all something there. And so we do the background vocals and then we came in about 3 weeks after and do the lead. After we done the lead, him say, all right, the lead here will come back and do a lead again.
Who
So,
produced that?
Yes, that's Tony Kelly. Very good producer. Can't take that from him.
Yeah. From what you tell me,
He's not a good singer, but him know I want. No. Very good. When it comes to that, him tough them well.
So when that song became a success, because a lot of people know you for that song. That's like your signature song.
Yeah, well, I met sometimes I'm saying that.
What did you think then after people once you said Mr. Easy?
Even though we know the
She
song
Drive
was
Me
good,
Crazy,
even
right?
though we know the song was good, I didn't know the song would really. But I remember one time because I just had the Brockout song.
Right.
The Brockout song was so good.
Right.
Dave Kelly had a secretary. Saying, her name is Yolanda, and she said to me, Easy, I think you should do a video for that song, If you do that video for that song, it's gonna be big. I said, yeah, we said, yeah, just do it. I'm gonna take 1,500 under the video. That when I was doing the video, some you pause and see me do the song, and two them know me from Brockout. Me and them attack and say, I hear that song, I hear that. I said, Jesus, peace. After me do Brockout and take off, them I said, I hear that song, this. Because remember, Brockout to this.
Right. It's a different tempo.
Totally different.
Yeah.
The argument different. One a gangster thing, and one a rap me gently. You get understand me? I say, so now, but after me finish do the video, we just see the tune start shoot. And the phone call them start coming and I say, you mean the song is that good? And even when the song play, even today, coming like it's a new song.
Yeah.